Godzilla X Kong New Empire. Just saw it technically yesterday since it is almost 2 o'clock in the morning. And it is one of the most anticipated movies of this year. And it's a sequel to Godzilla versus King Kong, or Kong versus Godzilla. And I will have to say that it is slightly better than Kong versus Godzilla, because there's more monster fights in this movie. It doesn't take forever for the fights to get there. We actually see Kong rip monsters in half and Godzilla rip monsters in half in the beginning of the movie. Sadly, it is plagued with some issues. Particularly the human characters are obviously the weakest points of the monster universe, but thankfully there isn't too many human characters like there have been in the past, and the fight scenes are good. The main villain actually is a decent villain, even though there's no actual dialogue you hear with him because he's like a ape. But like Ghostbusters, unfortunately for that villain, they sort of build him up, and he was only in the movie for like 5-7 minutes, and he easily got defeated. But in this movie, you actually see the villain do stuff. There's like an ice dragon thing. There's a mini Kong that shows up in the movie. And there's a really funny scene where Kong actually uses the little Kong to smack another gorilla. There was some moments that made me laugh in the movie. And there's a new character, what's his name? But he's like a veterinarian kind of character. Trapper. They could have used him in the last movie. He kind of was a little too Ace Ventrilla, which they actually mention Ace Ventrilla in the movie. But he's an okay character, and he's a love interest to the main girl. And there's a lot of secrets in the movie that I didn't know that was going to happen. A secret character shows up. I'm hoping that we see more of the classic monsters show up in the movie. Overall, I would give it an 8 out of 10. I was going to give it an 8.5, but I was like, there are a few issues. But thankfully, the third act didn't feel completely rushed, and the fight scenes were good. And there's a really hilarious scene where Godzilla and King Kong briefly have a rematch. And King Kong is like, wait a minute. Godzilla, wait. But I thought that was kind of funny. I feel like it had the right amount of humor, the right amount of action. Hopefully this movie will do good at the box office, because like I said, Ghostbusters is not doing as great, and I thought Ghostbusters 4 was actually pretty good. The budget's like $130 something dollars, or $135 million. But I just hope that it makes its money back, at least like $600 million or $700 million. I hope it makes $1 billion, but it probably won't, because people don't go to the movies as much anymore. But I would definitely go see it, and the critics gave it mixed to negative reactions, thinking it's going to be Godzilla -1, which it's not. It's more of a sort of mindless action movie, dumb fun type movie. Godzilla -1 is more dramatic and really a great movie, which you definitely should check out also.